Welcome to BillionX. Today, we're uncovering the secret financial wisdom that turned Richard Branson from a struggling student into the mastermind behind the Virgin Group. He wasn't born into wealth, nor did he follow the traditional path of education or corporate ladders. Instead, he believed in one thing: starting where you are with what you have and growing through bold decisions. His journey is not just about money. It's about vision, risk-taking, and relentless persistence. In this video, we'll break down how simple yet powerful financial thinking helped him build a multi-billion-dollar empire from scratch. So stay with us, because one idea could spark the breakthrough you've been waiting for. At just 16, Richard Branson made a decision that would shape the rest of his life. He dropped out of school. With no money, business background, or formal plan, he started a student magazine from the basement of a church. But his mindset set him apart. He didn't wait for resources. He created them. He convinced advertisers to fund his vision before the magazine was even printed. That's the first layer of financial wisdom. Money follows value, not the other way around. Branson's first big win came not from wealth, but from seeing opportunity where others saw nothing. Instead of spending the small profits from the magazine on personal luxuries, Branson made a crucial decision. He reinvested every penny back into his dream. He launched a mail-order record business, spotting a gap in the market for cheaper music. The lesson here is timeless. Wealth grows when you delay gratification and fuel your business instead of your lifestyle. Branson knew that the first money you earn is not for spending, it's for building. This discipline of reinvestment laid the financial foundation for what would soon become the Virgin brand. Branson's first breakthrough came when he took a risky leap into the music industry. With no formal experience, he signed unknown artists and even took personal loans to fund the early Virgin records. He believed that calculated risk is the price of success. Most people fear losing money, but Branson knew that the bigger risk was standing still. This financial wisdom, daring to invest in the unknown, helped him launch artists who would go on to global fame. Playing it safe was never an option. After the success of Virgin Records, Branson didn't stop. He understood a core principle of financial wisdom: never rely on one stream of income. He expanded into airlines, telecommunications, and even space travel. Each move was built on the same mindset: identify gaps, take bold action, and create value. Diversification protected his wealth, allowed his brand to grow, and kept his empire resilient against failure. This wasn't luck. It was strategic thinking powered by the belief that fortune favors the brave. Not every venture Richard Branson touched turned to gold. Some of his businesses failed miserably, including Virgin Cola and Virgin Brides. But here's the key: he never saw failure as defeat. Instead, he treated every setback as a lesson in what not to do next. Branson's financial wisdom taught him that real loss comes only when you give up. Money lost can be earned again, but time wasted in fear cannot. He failed forward, using mistakes as stepping stones rather than stop signs. Every failure sharpened his focus for future success. One of the most underrated secrets behind Branson's empire is how he treats people. He believes that taking care of employees leads to better business results. The wisdom here is simple: money is made by people, not by products. Branson invested in creating a culture where his teams felt valued, respected, and empowered. He knew that when people thrive, profits naturally follow. His leadership wasn't built on greed, it was built on trust and human connection, which became a magnet for success. Branson understood early that a business is more than just its products. It's about the brand story. Virgin wasn't just selling music or flights. It was selling an experience, a rebellious spirit, and a promise of something different. This brand identity became his biggest asset, allowing him to enter diverse industries with the same name. The financial wisdom here is that when you build a strong brand, you build customer trust, and trust is worth more than any advertising budget. Branson sold an emotion, not just a service. Richard Branson mastered the art of storytelling long before social media existed. He made sure that the public saw him not just as a businessman, but as an adventurer, a risk-taker, and a dreamer. He understood that perception shapes reality. Instead of letting the world define him, he told his own story, loudly and boldly. This financial wisdom of controlling your narrative helped him attract investors, customers, and media attention without spending millions on marketing. In business, sometimes your story is your strongest currency. As his wealth grew, so did Branson's understanding of true financial success. He believes that making money is just one part of the journey. The greater purpose lies in giving back. From environmental projects to humanitarian efforts, he has invested millions into causes bigger than himself. The lesson is clear. Money without meaning leads to emptiness. Real wealth is measured by the impact you leave behind. Branson's financial wisdom teaches us that success feels richer when it changes not just your life, but the lives of others, too. In the 1980s, Branson made one of his boldest moves, launching Virgin Atlantic to compete with established airline giants. Everyone told him it was impossible, but Branson's financial wisdom taught him that monopolies exist only until someone dares to challenge them. He focused on creating a better passenger experience, from entertainment to customer service, and soon Virgin Atlantic was winning loyal customers. He risked everything, but believed in the idea that true value creation comes from challenging the status quo. It wasn't about beating the big players. It was about being different. Branson has never been reckless with money. He takes what he calls calculated risks. Before launching any new venture, he examines the downside carefully and limits how much he could lose if things go wrong. This financial wisdom protects him from catastrophic failure while allowing room for bold action. Most people either take wild risks or remain frozen by fear. Branson's genius lies in finding the balance. Risk enough to grow, but protect enough to survive. Every decision is a chess move, not a dice roll. One of the reasons Branson succeeded across industries is his sharp sense of timing. He didn't just launch businesses randomly. He watched markets, sensed shifts, and moved when others hesitated. Virgin Mobile entered the market when the telecom industry was booming. Virgin Galactic was timed with the rise of space exploration interest. The wisdom here is that wealth grows not just from hard work, but from entering the right place at the right time. Branson knew when to wait and when to strike, and that made all the difference. No empire grows without weathering storms. Branson faced economic downturns, public criticism, legal battles, and near bankruptcy. But he stayed resilient, anchored by the belief that every crisis carries hidden opportunity. Instead of panicking, he adapted, pivoted, and found new ways to keep Virgin alive. His financial wisdom taught him that survival is sometimes the greatest victory, and those who stay calm when others fall apart often emerge stronger. Branson didn't just build businesses, he built resilience into every decision. Branson's wealth wasn't built by copying others, it was built by innovating. He constantly asked, "How can this be done better?" Whether in airlines, music, or mobile, he sought to break the old rules and rewrite the customer experience. His financial wisdom lies in understanding that innovation isn't just creativity, it's profitability. The businesses that survive are the ones that evolve. Branson's ability to spot gaps and improve what already exists is the engine behind the Virgin brand's long-lasting success. One of Richard Branson's most powerful financial principles is thinking long-term. While many chase quick profits, Branson plays the long game. He's willing to invest years into building something meaningful, knowing that true wealth compounds over time. His ventures weren't overnight successes. They grew through persistence, patience, and vision. Financial wisdom is not about instant rewards. It's about building something that lasts. Branson teaches us that when you focus on long-term value instead of short-term wins, you create something far bigger than just money. You create legacy. Throughout his career, Branson has shown that fear is the biggest barrier to financial freedom. Most people let fear of failure, fear of loss, and fear of judgment hold them back from chasing their dreams. Branson's success came from learning to act despite fear, not in the absence of it. Every bold move he made carried risk, but he trusted his instincts, gathered knowledge, and moved forward anyway. The financial wisdom here is simple but rare. Fortune favors action, not hesitation. Fear kills more dreams than failure ever will. Today, Richard Branson's Virgin Group spans across industries and continents. But his real legacy isn't just the billions he built. It's the mindset he leaves behind. He showed the world that you don't need to be born rich, highly educated, or backed by investors to build something extraordinary. All you need is vision, courage, resilience, and the wisdom to use money as a tool, not a destination. If you've found even one idea in this story that inspired you, don't let it fade away. Take action. Start small. And if you enjoyed this journey, please subscribe to BillionX for more stories that could change your life.